All right, guys. So I've been getting a lot of requests lately on how I actually land my tow missiles on target when I'm flying the attack helicopter in Battlefield 6. So what I did today, when I got home from work, I logged in and played 2 games, took a couple of clips of me landing my tow missile shots. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put all those clips on screen for you guys. I'm going to walk you guys step by step through my thought process, what reticle I use, where I'm aiming on the screen, and I'm going to help you guys figure out how to actually land those tow missiles. So let's get into it. So the first thing I want to do is go to loadouts. I want to show you guys my attack helicopter loadout. So I'm using heavy rockets in my primary. My secondary is the aim guided, which is going to be the focus of this video. I also run emergency repair in my 3rd slot, and then I'm also running interference on the 4th slot. Just wanted to cover that because I get that question a lot. That being said, I am currently ranked 146 in the attack helicopter. The most vehicles I've killed in a game is 32. Just that way you guys have a little bit of merit on where I'm coming from. All right, guys, so let's start with the basics. So the tow missile is an aim guided missile. So basically what that means is when you launch the tow missile from your helicopter, you are actually controlling it with your joystick or your mouse as the missile is flying towards your target. It can be pretty hard to control, but that's the gist of the missile. So let's get into how I fire the missile, where I fire it, where I position my crosshairs, and let's kind of start with the nitty gritty. The very first thing that I want to start with you guys is how to shoot down enemy helicopters with the tow missile. This is arguably the most important in my opinion, because if you're able to take out the enemy helicopter before it's able to mess with you at the beginning of a game, it's going to free up so much more for you to be able to do on the map. All right, guys, so let's start with this clip here. So the very first thing I do is I zoom in on the enemy helicopter that's out in the distance. You have a transport on the bottom left and their attack chopper in the middle. You always want to focus the attack chopper if he's on the map. So when you launch out the tow missile, the first thing the missile is going to do, as you can see on the bottom right side of the screen here, is it's going to launch out kind of slow. And for about the first 1 second, 1.5 seconds, it's actually going to kind of drop out of the helicopter by, I don't know, 10 in-game feet. And then it actually starts to launch towards target. So you have to take that drop into account. But once that missile is airborne, what I do at this point, when the missile is halfway to the target, I ignore my reticle on my crosshair completely, the little dot in the center of the screen. I actually use the tow missile itself as my reticle. You guys have to completely ignore the dot, focus only on your tow missile, and pretend that is the middle of your screen, and that's your reticle. Now, as you move your mouse or your joystick to the right-hand side, that missile is going to react accordingly, follow your movements, and as long as you can tell that helicopter is moving in a certain pattern, especially horizontal across a screen like this, makes it really easy to track that target, and eventually, if you just focus on it, the missile, it's going to flow right into that enemy helicopter, take them out of the sky. Now, this is probably the most requested. Let's talk about taking out enemy tanks with the tow missile and the heavy rockets, but primarily how to shoot the tow missile. So the first thing that I want to point out in this video clip right here is the different damage points on a tank, because whether you're shooting at it with heavy rockets or a tow missile, this is just good general knowledge to have. So if you focus in right here, you can notice when I shoot the tow missile out, I shoot him right in the rear side of the tank. And as you can see in the middle of the screen here, I did 616 damage to the tank when I hit him right from the back. Now, when I flip around right here and I take another shot, I hit him more so from the top of the tank, and you can see that does 346 damage to the tank directly from the top. Now, in this video clip, as you can see right here, if I shoot this tank right from the front, I'm only going to do 209 damage to the tank when I shoot it directly from the front. So when you're using the tow missiles against tanks, especially the mobile tanks, because they actually just got a buff to the armor on the top, you really want to do your best to either have that tow missile come down directly on top of the tank, or you want to shoot the tank directly from behind in order to get the maximum damage, which is going to be into the 600s, and that'll allow you to win past the tanks. All right, guys, now let's talk about actually hitting a tank with the tow missile. This is arguably the most important. Where you hit the tank comes second. Let's talk about how to hit the tank with the tow missile. Now, when I'm making it to where the tow missile is going to hit the tank, I'm always aiming slightly above my target using the small dot in the middle of my screen, like what you're seeing right now. The reason that I always aim just a little bit above when I initially launch the tow missile is because of that drop that the tow missile is going to have when it drops out of the helicopter. So as you watch this, you're going to see the missile is going to drop out of the helicopter, and it's actually going to float down And right when the missile gets down to around the like right past that tree, you're gonna notice it's like really kick in and it's really gonna fly towards the tank at that point in time. Basically, to summarize it, when you're approaching a tank, like what I'm going to do right here, when I come over the top of this building, I'm going to launch the tow missile. And then once the tow missile is in the air, I'm going to put my reticle, my center of my screen, above the tank. Sometimes I launch it when I'm already aiming above the tank. Either one works. You just want to get your reticle above the tank to make some of that ground up for that missile dropping. Let that missile travel towards the tank, keeping a reticle slightly above the tank. And that's what's going to lead it straight into it. Then you switch to your heavy rockets to finish them off. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully this helped you guys somewhat when it comes to using the tow missile and the attack helicopter. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like down below and hit that subscribe button. If you guys want to see future Battlefield 6 content, definitely leave a comment what kind of videos you'd like for me to make in the future as well. I'm going to put my socials in the description. I do stream on TikTok and Twitch pretty much almost every day. So if you want to catch me doing this live, feel free to come over. But other than that, have a wonderful day, guys. Take care.